Good morning. Good morning, good morning. Let me just move this. Hi. I am Melissa Naderick with Sentimental Salvage and Design, and we're on day 2. We got day 2 of the 12 days of crafty Christmas going on here. So today we are going to be making this super little adorable snowman ornament. So it's just his, I keep turning it the wrong way. It's just his little head. We're just going to be making his head, and we've got these little hats that I bought at, actually, it's either, I think it's Dollar Tree. They had 2 different kinds this year. They had the white and black buffalo plaid, and then they had like a red kind of Christmassy color plaid. So anyways, that's what we're going to be using. This is what we're doing. So I'm going to show you how to make his little head, his little eyes, and his nose, and put the hat on, and they make these super cute little ornaments. Okay, I might have to, I got you zoomed in so you can see a little bit easier what I'm doing, but we might have to zoom it out. It might be too close. Okay, so this is, if you're familiar with the snowman or the sweater pumpkin kits that I had, I still have some snowman kits if you're looking for any of those. But this is just basically the cuff part of the sweater. So I'm going to zoom this out a little bit. Oh, wrong way. There we go. Okay, that should be a little bit better. So this is the cuff part of any sweater. You can do it in any color. We're obviously using white because it's snowman. And what I do first is I just flip it inside out, and I always work on the kind of the fat end first. Good morning, Linda. You made it this morning. Okay, so this is just your normal yarn needle. I get these at Walmart. They come in, I have the package here somewhere. They come in a pack of 3, and they have this, I like these ones because they're metal, they're not plastic. And they have this little, it's kind of a softer, almost like a fishing, sorry, I don't know where to put this. There we go. It's not gonna, there you go. It's got a little, like a fishing line kind of end on it. And it kind of, it fits through smaller things better. If that makes any sense whatsoever. Okay, so what we do here, like I said, if you've done the sweater pumpkins or the snowman, you're kind of going to know this part, but we're just doing a basic running stitch all the way around the outside. And this is going to be the bottom of his little head. So I'm using, you can make these however big you want. These would be cute little gift tags even. That seems to be a really big thing to do, these kind of ornament gift tags, and then it's an ornament for their tree. They get kind of 2 gifts in one. But you can make these whatever size you want. So however big your sweater or whatever part of the sleeve you use. It's super easy. They're really easy. This is just baker's twine too, or like a chef's twine, also from the dollar store. The dollar stores are getting a lot better than they used to be on a lot of things. The quality seems to be improving a little bit. It's just certain stores are better than others. Certain Dollar Trees especially are better than others, I'm finding. For you local people, your Dollar Tree in Vegreville is a good one. It's clean, it's organized. Dollar Trees tend to be kind of, in our part of the Edmonton, some of the ones in Edmonton are just awful. But anyways, that's just my opinion. Okay, so now you just tie it in a knot, and this basically closes up the bottom. So what I'm going to do is just cut this. And I'm just going to put a little dab of glue on the knot. Just for a little safety measure. Hi, Vita. Hi, Cheryl Ann. Hello, Myrna. I sent you an email this morning, Myrna, so I hope you get it. I hope it goes along with your last order. Okay. So now that is going to be the bottom. Can't see what I'm doing. That's going to be the bottom. So now kind of same thing. We are going to do the same running stitch on this top. This sweater's a little bit different because it has this kind of a cuff here. It's not just a kind of normal sweater edge. So I'm going to turn it inside out again. And with this one, I'm just kind of going in and out right on the very edge because it's thick. And if I go in here like I was on the bottom, it's going to be really hard to pull it together and get it to actually pull together nicely. So I'm going to go in on the top edge like that. If anybody has any questions or even about yesterday's decoupage live, if you caught that one and if you came up with a question you wanted to ask, go ahead. If I miss your question live, I'll go back after and check the comments. So I noticed I had missed a couple yesterday, so. So these are pretty. I get sweaters from the thrift store. Just look at those sleeves. If anybody has come up with a project, I can use all the torsos, sweater torsos I have. I have an abundance of sweaters from over the years. Okay. So now we are going to stuff it. And I just use, this is the polyester stuffing from Walmart. You can get it in a bunch of different size bags. And you put quite a bit in there because you don't want his head to be all kind of wrinkled and baggy, right? So you're really going to shove it in there. A little bit more. You can use an old pillow, like an old throw pillow, the stuffing out of that. If you don't like the cover or anything anymore, that works too. Okay, so the top on this won't come completely together because of how thick this kind of cuff is, but that's okay because his hat's going up there anyway, so it doesn't matter. So you just want to pull it kind of as tight as you can get it without breaking your string. This baker's twine or whatever it's called. Butcher's twine. Baker's twine. I don't know why that was in my head. It's pretty strong. So that's why I started using that. I used to use regular yarn and we were ripping it and then you'd have to re-sew and same thing, just a little dab of glue. Okay, so now we're going to figure out kind of where we want his hat to be. I put his hat on first before I put his little face on because it helps me judge where I want his eyes. I don't want to put his eyes too high and then his little hat is just going to cover it up. So this is the hats from the Dollar Tree. And I know last year, I think this was a Walmart. I got this and they had these little boots at Walmart last year. They're so cute. I took these apart and used them as little snowman feet last year too. They worked really cute. Trick to get these apart, it's just hot glue in here. They do have these again this year. I'm not sure if they have the buffalo plaid, but they do have these little boots. The trick to get this apart, this hot glue right here, just use a heat gun and they'll pop apart without wrecking anything. And then there was these little toques too. These are also Walmart. And they're little ornaments, but they work good for these kind of little guys. Okay, so anyways, we're using this one. Take this tag off. And you just kind of try to, there's a seam, the sweater seam. I want that to be in the back. So I'm just gonna keep my finger on it so I have an idea where it is so I don't lose my spot. And then kind of figure out how I'm gonna position his little hat. So, more glue. I'm just gonna load a bunch of glue up here. And then I'm going to position the hat. Why am I shaky this morning? And then I'm just gonna smush it. So I've got it smushed down pretty good, like that right now, just until this glue sets. So now we wait. We wanna keep that pressure on there so that the glue sets. I need some tunes or something now in this little wait. Nobody has any questions? You guys are quiet. Nothing. Oh, that works pretty good. So there, he's got his little hat. We're gonna touch this up a little bit later, but I wanna get his face on there. I'm gonna bring that down a little bit more because you'll see how I've got it a little bit more attached on this little guy that I did yesterday. Yeah, the glue's not quite set up enough for me yet. Smoosh, right? Yes, very technical terms, Linda. I have more. They'll come out in random times. Okay, that's good for now. So this is the rest of the sweater sleeve, and I'm just going to use it as kind of a little cradle to keep his face where I want it. There's like glue strings hanging off these dollar store things sometimes. Okay, so I always put the nose on first. That kind of judges where the eyes are gonna go. And what I'm using for a nose is, these were, I have a whole bunch. They were Halloween string lights. So it was a whole string of orange light bulbs, which were perfect for these little snowmen. And what I do is I just grab the wires and just pull them straight down, and then this just pops right off. You don't need this little plastic bit. So then you've got just the orange bulb. So it's perfect. And those two little wires, if you can see them there, I just twist them together. So it's just one little point now. And this makes it really easy to glue in. I'm gonna I wanna lift his head a little bit so I can see him better. Okay, so I kind of want his nose right in the center. That works pretty, maybe a little smidge higher. It just bumped it up like 1/8 of an inch. I like that better. And a trick I've learned after making many snowman heads with really wonky eye placement is now I started making a little dot with a marker, because some of my snowman faces looked pretty darn derpy. Okay, so this marker's obviously, so just a little spot. And then what I'm going to do is make sure that's good and twisted. And I just I stick the wire right in the end of the glue gun. Give a good not, my cheap glue gun catches. Oh, there we go. I want there to be a good amount of glue so that it doesn't stick out and look weird, perched on the outside of his face. And then I'm gonna stick it right in and shove his nose right in there. So more smooshing. See, I've got it like shoved right in. Just to make sure it's good. Yeah, Linda, they work perfect. The little light bulbs work perfect. All right. So there, now you can see his little nose is right in there. It's not sticking out and looking kind of weird on the outside. It's right up in there. Okay, now the eyeballs. So these are these little, I'm not sure exactly what they're called. I kind of call them stem buttons. They are totally like flat. There's no holes on the top. I found the buttons that had the holes on the top, or if you use black beads, they kind of look weird and creepy. So these have the hole in the back that you can sew to something. So you could sew these on if you wanted to, but hot glue is way easier. So that's what we're gonna use. So same thing with these. I try to kind of eyeball where I want to put them first. And you don't want them too far apart. They look kind of weird. You don't want them too close together. Looks kind of weird. So same idea. I'm going to just mark where that eye is, and then I'm just going to kind of judge the same distance, same angle for the other eye. Might be a little bit off, but it doesn't matter. Isn't the light bulb sign of a great idea? Yes, sometimes I have those, Susan. Sometimes. Okay, same deal. This is the fun part where you don't want to hot glue your fingers. And I probably should have cut my nails, because if your nails are too long, it makes this kind of hard too. So I want to put a decent amount of glue on there too. Not too much, because you don't want it like oozing, but same. Now I'm just going to shove it in there, because I want the glue to, put this here so you guys can see maybe. I want the glue to ooze up to the base, like kind of behind the eye off the stem, so that the whole eye kind of sticks into the snowman's head and not sticking out on like a stem. So see, if you look at this guy there, his eyes are kind of like right in there. They're not like sticking out and dangling on a stem, which would look really weird in my opinion, but I say all this because I've done it, and then I look at it and it looks weird. So, okay, here's one eyeball. So this is a super quick, fairly easy little craft. that you can use with either all dollar store or thrift store items. Okay, this eyeball might not be going where I wanted it to go, but whatever. We're gonna make do and we're gonna call them cute anyways, right? And then you can always put like a little mouth. If I had smaller ones like that, I don't think I do. I think they're all big. Yeah. I bought these buttons on Amazon last year, and you had to buy like 200 of them. I think I only needed 30 and I had to buy 200. That was the minimum. All right. Okay, so when you look at them this way, see how this eye is kind of sideways? I want to fix that because it bugs me. So I'm just going to put some glue. Hopefully this works fast enough. Just gonna add some glue to that side of that eye and put it down. Oh, exactly. Exactly, very loopy. Loopy 2 years. So make 2 loopy snowmen. Okay, that's a little bit better now. See, his eyes are kind of pointing forward instead of in opposite directions. All right, well, his eyes are a little closer together than the other guy, but it gives him a completely different look. Okay, so now it looks like he has this like wrinkly forehead up here, and I want to get rid of that. So that's where some more hot glue comes in. And this is where you just kind of hold them back, look at them, and see how you can fix things. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put some glue in this little spot all the way around. Trying to work fairly quickly because it dries so darn fast. And then we're gonna smoosh again. And we wait. Kind of gotta wait a little bit longer for this because it has more pressure. It pulls on it. So if the glue's not completely set up, it'll just slowly pull apart, and you don't really want that to happen. So, but you could even, like I was saying, I had those other snowman hats. I went on a crocheting episode the other day, and I made a bunch of these little, they're kind of like gnome hats, but these would work too. There's a little one. And just put a string then to hang them as an ornament. Those would work too. Or you could even crochet the whole the little head. I wanted to make these little ornaments last year, and I just never did it. Okay, there, now he looks, it's still kind of pulling, it's not quite set, but he looks way better. The hat's not kind of perched on the top anymore. But yeah, and that's it, guys. There you have it. You have your little snowman ornaments. Super easy, didn't take long. What are we, 25 minutes? You can pretty much buy most stuff at the dollar store. You could probably use chunks of a sock for the little heads, and it'd work perfect. Super cute. So I don't have a kit for these. I mean, I probably could fairly simply. And if you're still, this is the full size little snowman kits. These are still available on the website. I want to say, I think there's 6 left. And they come, everything you need is except for your glue gun, and your glue is in this little box, including the video tutorial. It's on YouTube. So these are available on my website. I'll put the link on in the comments. But yeah, that's it for today. Thanks, Myrna. Long cone hat out of a flannel. Yeah, like there's all kinds of different variations you can do, and they're super simple. And sometimes it just takes one idea to turn into a whole bunch more, but I think they're adorable. They're gonna look really cute on my tree. So that's it for today, ladies. We will see you tomorrow morning at 10. We got a whole other project going. It's gonna be way messy, but it'll be fun, okay? I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks so much for watching. If you have any questions, just pop it in the comments and I will answer it. Thanks.